recorded. I will start that now. Okay. And I will continue with what I have prepared for today. So today's topic is the BAdI generation scopes and valuation symbols that you use with XSteps. And by the way, I've also prepared a PDF document, which I have. I will switch over to that one for the record, so that you can see it also on the records. By the way, so that you can have this as a reference document later on. So what is this all about? For those who know the PI sheet with the classical process instructions, you know that there are process characteristics that can be automatically evaluated there, and also that in the control recipe destination you can enter some process instructions that are automatically generated to the process order. Similar things we have also in the XSteps, and I will start now with my presentation. For this, I need to log on into the system. So hold on a little bit. Share my screen here. Okay. And I'll just that you know what I'm talking about. So this is in the XStep repository, as I've shown it before as well. I'll just open up this folder here, and I just create a new XStep shortly. So I start as XStep, and I create. First of all, of course, I have to set a destination here, the dummy destination, and then I create another XStep, and in here you see first of all these generation scopes that are a little bit similar as the functionality as I described before. For example, for all ingredients here, for all phases, you can duplicate this element here. So this is about the generation. So for example, for all ingredients here, and also the parameter like xmat, material, and characteristic. And then you see here on the valuation tab that you can choose between many symbols, and one of them is here for this material symbol that makes this automatical valuation later on. Right. So this you can prepare in the standard XStep repository. But if you, for example, simulate this here, there will be nothing shown. Yeah? So there's nothing inside, and also, of course, I have to create something like an output of the parameter value, material. Okay. And again, simulate, and there is nothing really shown, and there's no content here. So because there is no material here at this stage, and there's of course no material list that can be repeatedly generated, because this is a repository only. Yes. And the same thing you can do with a BAdI implementation. You can create your own generation scopes and your own valuation symbols. And that's what I will show now. But before I continue, maybe a question: Is everybody now fine with this introduction, or shall I explain a little bit more about this difference also in the repository and recipe and order. What you have to watch out for there?
I'm fine.
Fine?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Maybe just a remark. Also in the recipe, if you use such a structure in the recipe, and you want to, for example, generate all materials with batch numbers, you won't see batch numbers in the recipe simulation because there are no batch numbers, because that's only in the order. So that's there are 3 locations, and in every location there are some restrictions, except on the order, because there is all information available. Okay, so I'm starting now with the introduction, and I won't go into the IMG. I will just tell you the transaction codes, where to go. So the first one you might want to look into is the CMX 02. Here, cross-client, by the way. Here you have several settings. So the first settings is here a namespace. So the first namespace here is the SAP namespace, and that contains all the evaluation symbols and data categories. I can check, look here. So all the data categories here, valuation symbols and scopes of generation that are available in the standard. Just one comment on these categories. You might have seen here that, for example, in this screen, you see these folders here, and these are the categories. So that's also what you can do in your own BAdI stuff. So, for example, these are two namespaces here, and with each one category inside, where some of the content is included. Okay, so this is a category. Yes. So maybe let's just do it. I just enter a new one. So I'm naming instead 03. I say XStepCafe, and I'm saving this. And before I continue, and this is quite important, you need to also release that namespace, and that is in this transaction CMX 04. Quite important that you also maintain it inside here. You cannot do this first, because you really need to first maintain this entry in the transaction before. By the way, for those who activate the SCM extension on the new system, it might be the case that this namespace is not yet in this table. So please have a look at this CMX 04 transaction, and if it's not in here, please create a new entry, enter SAP, and save it, and then you can continue a little bit more. Okay. So, again, back to the transaction before. So I've created this namespace, so I select it. I'm creating a data category, for example, Cafe 1, like this, Cafe 1, and an item number. This is just for sorting reasons, so I can say a Cafe 2 and Cafe 2, and if I say 50 here, for example, then it's the first entry later, but that does not make sense. Okay, so that's just for organizing your symbols and generation scopes. Next thing is creating a symbol, for example. So I do that, and all these symbols should start with Z. I think that is also mandatory. And I just say Cafe 01. I assign it to one of these categories and give it a description, and I say Cafe sort string, because that's an example I'm just prepared. Okay, and the next one is here. I create here a scope generation. XStepCafe.
Joining conference.
Gen 01. I'm using the same category here maybe, and this is a cafe material list. Okay. These two tables here are needed if you reuse certain already existing generation scopes in that coding here, or want to support certain fields there. I have described that a little bit more in the documentation I spoke of, and you can read it there. But I won't fill in something here. So I'm saving this now. Yeah. So that's just the initial setting. So just to prepare the elements, and maybe what I can also do is I will show you also the guide, and also for me, because I don't know all of this by heart, so I'm just looking it up here. So that's what I'm doing here. Another thing is you can maintain certain versions of your BAdI implementation. I've never used this really, but this is, for example, if you have certain, for example, you have seasonal differences in valuation for some reason. So in the first half of the year you want to have this BAdI active, and the second half of the year this BAdI active. So you can create here several variants, and later on you see that you can enter this variant in this filter criteria of the BAdI implementation, and then this can be switched. So, but I haven't really done this, and I don't know whether it's really necessary, just for completeness. Okay. Next thing. Oops. This I have all done here. Data categories, animation symbols. The next step here is transaction ZMX05, and this is quite a helpful tool to check the status of your current implementation. So what does that mean? Here in this first step, it says valuation symbol. So it shows you all of the SAP namespace as well, but also all of. Oops, sorry about that. Hope this doesn't. Uh-oh. Huh.
Don't lose the picture.
That's okay. I'll try the difference. Sorry. I mean, this is not mandatory to have this. I can set a filter here. Oops. No. Okay, I have to describe this, and fortunately I've got also the guide here, and I will enlarge this now here. What does it show? So you see that you have for symbols and the generation scopes, you've got the status here, in this case it's green, of all your symbols here, in this case, for all applications. As I said at the beginning, there are three types of applications where these symbols and generation scopes might be used differently, for the reasons that there's different types of information available. So XSV is the repository, MRC is the recipe, and MOR is the order. And when this is green, that means that the BAdI implementation, that there is an active BAdI implementation for that symbol, and that there is also the method inside this implementation activated. Yes. So then it is green. it does not mean that there's really meaningful content there, that the valuation is meaningful. That has to be make sure in the coding, of course. But that's good to check whether you might have missed an activation of some objects here. Okay, so let's hope that this error is not in other areas as well. But this morning I tried all and it was working, so hopefully. So the next thing, I will open up this again, is the actual BAdI implementation, and that's normal SE18 transaction. And there are two BAdI definitions. The first one is the CMX SRE sim for simple valuation, and the other is gen for generation scope. Okay. So I'm entering this definition here, and here I'm saying create an implementation. So I'm naming it maybe BAdI Cafe Sim 01. Oh boy. Huh. The problem is that I need implementation rights in the system, and that is not. I don't know where I have that as well. What has happened here? I don't know. Okay, so since I cannot do it on the system, I'm very sorry about that. I have to do that here. Fortunately, I've got all the screenshots here. Let's see what I can do anyway. So sorry about that. I will just scroll down here. So actually, what happens next is you have to enter the text here, of course, of the implementation, and down here you need to add at least one line in this filter section. These filters are used to decide for every symbol which BAdI implementation shall be taken for the valuation or the generation. So, for example, if you use these settings here, that means that for all symbols of the namespace Z01, for all application, all variants, so this is all wildcards, this one BAdI implementation is called. And then, of course, you need to distinguish your different symbols and applications inside this one implementation. Yes, I always do that because I find this a little bit easier, but there might be also reasons why you might want to, for example, have one BAdI implementation for all sort of dummy symbol valuations in the repository, because there's hardly anything you can really value as meaningful, so you would maybe use dummy values here. I don't know. And one of the more extreme things would be to have one implementation for one symbol and one application, but I don't think that's really that doesn't make sense. Right? Very important here is also that you should make sure that all your different BAdI implementations do not intersect with each other. So, for example, if you've got two implementations, one has this filter, one has this filter, then for this symbol and this application, you've got an intersection because of this wildcard. You should not have this. And you can also check this with the transaction ZMX05, because then you see double lines there. And I think that it will also give a yellow light there because of this situation. Right. Then when you click, you see on this screen here, you see that there's a tab called Interface. You click on the tab Interface, and there you've got one method prepared, which is called getData. Well, you double-click on that, Yes, and then it asks you to save this BAdI implementation, and of course you have to assign it to a certain package. That's normal. And then you enter the screen of this method for the actual valuation. Yes, and and then you might ask, okay, what do I have to do now? And of course, I have some sample codings provided also in this document, where you have some one example for a simple valuation here. Maybe I go briefly into this example and explain several things. So you need to prepare certain standard data types here, and you and all other data types, of course, you need in this context. Then, for example, I will switch to this view here. Then you can, for example, switch here or check which application is here, and this is very important here, this section. So there is this parameter passed into this method, that is the FLT_val. So that's the actual value. When a symbol is to be evaluated, then there is a namespace of this symbol. There's the symbol name. There's the application that actually wants to evaluate this symbol now, and maybe also the version. And these information are passed in this parameter here. For example, the application here is in this field, and then you can check, okay, if it's the order, then it makes sense to check the reservation and do all these other things. And if it's, for example, the XStep repository, and there is no sort string at all there, you can have, but you want to have a meaningful field there anyway, you can evaluate a dummy value, like dummy, in here, right? What is also quite important is, since this is all ABAP object, you can reuse many other functionalities. For example, you can choose to use other standard valuation symbols, like the symbol reservation, to get the reservation number into this field here. And the same for reservation item and reservation item type, for example. And then you can use these fields here and call any real standard function module here with these parameters, and then you can find out the sort string that I'm aiming at here, right? And this
Der
is
neue Teilnehmer der Konferenz ist
where I have another application, so it's not the application M or R, so it's not the process order, but any other. So, and then I say here no value, or can maybe say dummy or something like that. But just to have at least a value. Yes. Okay, and so that's the first part in this method should be getting the data, and there might also be a general section where you want to prepare certain data that are maybe necessary for different symbols, since this method can contain, of course, many symbol valuation codings, right? And that's and then at the end here, I've got a case structure where I use the filter value symbol, and this is here the sort string. In our case, it would be like Z sort string cafe 1 or so, and then I use another method here to evaluate that symbol, and that is done with this construct. And there are several methods available, and you see them also here. So in this case, it's a string, but if it's, for example, a float, then you need to use that method, of course. But the domain you need also to find out here, the BAdI domain. Okay, so that's all for the symbol valuation. Any questions?
Yes, I'm is this query is this the valuation of that what is given to create then the corresponding process instruction?
No, it's not about the process instruction. It's all about, and I hope this will, yeah, it's still there here. It's all about this part here. So I've created here in the XSteps fingers crossed, okay, nothing happens. I created this parameter with name xmat, and in this tab I've chosen to a certain symbol, and I can also do like this, like sort string, local, and PPI short text as the characteristics. And then I would just use this symbol. For example, I've created one before here. That is the sort string. So this part here, that's what is then called when I do this automatic valuation here, so automatically. That is called. So it's nothing about an instruction. That you have to do.
No. Okay. But this will do the automatical valuation.
Exactly.
With this valuation symbol, the query construct.
Yes, this will do the actual update in this symbol. Yes.
Yeah. That's what I want. No, sorry.
No problem. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. Where do you get the domain from, the DDIC sort TP?
The domain, yeah. Maybe I need to add some comment on that. I'll have to look it up. Maybe I promise I will include it in that document as well, and you will get it.
Okay. Cool.
There's it's a little bit tricky. But yeah. Any more questions? Okay. So I will go on to the generation scope, and there again there are two principal possibilities. The first is the more easy one, is also to reuse an existing generation scope, and that is I won't go through all here, but I will maybe. Yeah. Here. It's so small that I didn't find it here. So basically, what I do at first is I do this here, and that means I'm just reusing an existing generation scope, like the material, the scope of oral reservations here by just accessing this generation query here, and then later on. Here I'm using a delete method on each line. So I'm querying then through every line that is returned here, and then I check whether it matches a certain criteria. Yes, and for example in here I have also included a sort of parameterization on this generation scope. Maybe for those of you who have created the normal process instruction destination, control recipe destinations with the filter that is available there in the material section, there you have a nice filter view where you can select certain criteria, filter criteria. This you have to do for each BAdI implementation on your own, but it's of course gives you a lot of flexibility. And what I do here is in this section, I'm looking in the actual XStep whether I find a parameter that is called f_sort, and if it's there, I'm evaluating I'm getting the content of this parameter, so it has to be fixed manually then in the XStep, and then later on I'm in this returned table, if you want, of the generation scope. I'm checking here if this sort string of each line is matching this sort string filter. Yes, and if it's not matching, I delete the line. Yeah? So that's a quite nice small generation scope implementation here. And the other method that I'm describing here is a generation where you really do it from scratch, and I cannot really explain that because a developer has given me this to me, and I just reused it many times before. But this is a useful thing because it gives you an example how you can get a material list that is not depending on the context. What does that mean? If you assign, maybe I'm using an example. For example, I'm entering this recipe here. I'm doing an order, maybe easier.
Hallo. Ich höre gerade hier.
Oh boy. Oh, now it crashes. Okay, great. Okay, so I will try it once again.
Which system is this?
It's an internal demo system.
Maybe it's too warm in Germany.
maybe it's too warm. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's. Once more. Save it first. Okay, good. Just for testing purposes, by the way, it's quite easy to just create a new tree here. Then you can leave the current stuff here as you like. So I'm creating first XStep, which I'm assigning, for example, this face here, and I'm creating a parameter here, like this. And maybe also the source string here. Find the symbols here. By the way, it might be necessary to have a certain leading symbol here before you can access the sort string, for example, so that at least the material is known, or the reservation or something. In other case, you might get an error that there's information missing. So what I'm doing here, fortunately, I have still this example I have done before. I'm evaluating these automatically, and also I have to assign a destination, of course, here on this level, and create an instruction. input. Material mat and sort string dot. So save it and I'm simulating it, for example. And you see there's nothing in here. And by the way, there's a dummy also here. That is because I'm using the sort string that I prepared for this session, and that has actually no real actual data. It just gives you a dummy parameter. So in the recipe it would give you a dummy dash MSV, and in the repository XSV. But you see that there's no generation. I've missed the generation. Okay. Sorry, I need to, of course, add a generation here and try that again. Simulate this, and there's nothing. And why is there nothing? Because when you look at the materials, all the materials here are assigned to phase 210. Yes. So if I want to have a material list, I need to either assign this here to the phase 210, like this. And you see it, or I remove this context. So here you see it's in the container here for 210, and if I remove it, it's in the generic container at the beginning, which is called phase 4 times 0. Yes, but if you want to have a material list in a container in some other container, like for another phase, then you don't have any chance because all the standard generation scopes are based on the assumption that you want to have only the materials that are assigned to a certain phase. So what did I do? I assign it again to this phase here, and maybe I also use the proper sort string symbol now, which is that one is really working. And here I'm using the generation scope. Not sure. Yeah, here. That is phase independent. And now I'm simulating again, and there you see you've got all the information. Yes. So that's why this example here is quite useful when you want to have, for example, a material list in some other parts of your PI sheet. Yeah, so that was basically all I could show you and can show you now. I don't know whether I can. The error is still there. I can maybe try. I'm using an existing one. That one. Okay, maybe the crash was helpful. So that was the demo sort string valuation that I had here. So here on interface, I've got this method. I've got get data, and let's see. There it is. And this is really very simple, and you see it doesn't really nothing useful because it's just, but it gives you the principal structure. So here I'm just have a case structure where I browse through all the three applications and name it with a dummy value here. Of course, in this section here, I can use the real functionality where I really, reuse the reservation symbol and then check what sort string there really is. Right. So that's how this looks like. I don't think it makes sense to look into the details on the implementations right now because it's all in the document. So maybe one last ask for questions.
Alexandra, I have one. Based on your last given example, you switched the material list from wherever to the phase 310. Is there is this function, let's say, a double function? Means you can show it one at the weighing phase and then secondarily on another phase, or is
exactly.
that a moving?
That's exactly what this is helpful for.
Oh, great, thanks.
Because normally you have either in standard you have either the chance to use the standard material generation with no phase context, then you have it in phase 0. So that's always at the top. If you want to have, for example, at every phase the complete material list of the order for some reason, then you can use this BAdI generation scope.
Can I apply it? Can I apply that BAdI as well as at the normal process management area, or is it limited to XSteps?
No, only XSteps.
Damn it. Okay.
And that's also really one of the key advantages also of the XStep technology, because it's so flexible. You can really do whatever you like there, and in the old version with the process instructions, you were really limited to the given generations that were there, and there you can do whatever you like, and you can really you can create generation scopes for anything, like also non-production relevant data, right?
For example?
I don't know. Maybe there's something in plant maintenance. Maybe you can you make a link between certain equipment and a process order with some criteria, and then you can browse through all the equipment and get all the equipment that are relevant there and display it there and work with it. You know. So
is that the replacement for the function exit COV customer exit 001, which is normally used in the process message area?
The symbol valuation definition, yes. Yes, exactly. That's the replacement for that user exit, and the generation scope didn't exist really before, so that is really new.
Thank you.
I have a question. Is there a possibility to link the old technology with the new one, so that you don't need, if you're using process instructions, that you don't need to rebuild everything?
No. This is really also a real new technology, and there's no way that we can downgrade whatever. There's no way. I'm sorry. You really need to do this, and really, it's really the better technology. It's much faster to create the instructions. If you want to create a small prototype, you just copy and paste in the repository some of the XSteps. You change them. You can drag and drop. It's really easy.
Arne, I just want to say there's two comments to this. What I know up to now is really that it's rather comfortable to work with these XSteps, but there are two things which I miss at the moment. The first is this feature what you have in the classical way of creating PI sheets is automatical creation on the control recipe destination.
No. Why? Because that's the generation BAdI.
Yeah. A moment. Just a second. And there you have the possibility of, with these report variants, to set filters in front of, for example, for a specific resource.
But exactly, that's exactly that example that I've given you in this generation scope with the sort string filter. Remember, I checked whether there is a parameter with the name f_sort in the XStep. And if that is the case, I use the value of that parameter to filter to modify the generation.
Okay, you mean you set as a filter.
Okay, I will go into it again. Hold on. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, here. Yeah, this is the filter. So here, that is the generation. Here I reuse the generation scope first. Yes, and in this section here, I'm looking for a filter named fsort. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the case. You know, if I'm I can actually show it. Let's just briefly do it because it's also included here. So it's fsort filter and local short text. I need to check which sort strings are available there. I need to check here in the details. Here, way AI, for example, way EM and way. Okay. So, what do I do? I'm setting the filter here to way underscore like this. Okay. And then I'm. Oh no, I think. Oh boy. Oh, let's just leave it. But sorry for. But I think you know what would happen. Yes. So that's what I do. I'm looking for that parameter and the value, and then I'm using that value as a condition for further processing. And that's just what I do here.
Yes.
I'm as an example. I'm just deleting the lines that are not comply to that rule. But you can do any rule. You know. That's the advantage even. Because this filter you were mentioning is fixed and can only be changed when customers really need it, and SAP says sometime, okay, we extend it, but the customer cannot. The customer can extend it, but it's not a BAdI definition. It's a modification if you want. Right?
Okay, but in this example here, for example, if you do not want to list something with a sort string ABC, concrete the actual sort string ABC, then you would enter this as a parameter value in the XStep.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay.
Thanks. So maybe are there any more questions or?
Yes. Where is this documentation? What do you always?
Okay, the documentation. While we are talking about what we see here, I can. It is here. Everybody of you can click on this line here in the file share. I don't know whether you see this here on the right bottom side. Guide to XStep BAdIs. You can click on that. You can download it now if you want. But in the future, I will also put it on the BPX platform as a documentation.
Okay.
So for time being, you can download this now.
Arnie, you mentioned you were going to do some updates. Will you be posting that?
Oh, I mean, I think I will post that to this audience here. To all when I mention the replay location and all this stuff. So then I will add that. And in the BPX version, I will add it in the document.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Arnie?
Yes.
This is Mudit. Ani, what was the question regarding the domain? What was the question? Can we get the question again?
The question was, hold on, it's here. When you use this method here, you need to provide this domain here, and it's a little bit tricky to find out the domain.
Okay, so is it the string what we have, the /dedic/sort_p, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe Mudit, you can give me a small document, and then I can post it also to the audience. later
on.
Okay,
we'll look into that. Yeah.
Okay, great. I didn't share it, so I couldn't look at my document. Okay. I'd like to do two things before we end this session. First thing, I would like you to rate the session here on the right side. The second thing is maybe a small poll on what topic are you interested in the next time. We had the general overview so far. We had commands and events. We had the BAdI. I will make this dash here for valuation generation. That leaves a little bit some other topics. I've added the last one here, using tabular values. Maybe that's also quite interesting, because you can do a lot of cool stuff when you use function modules with tabular parameters and tables in PI sheet. So I did a lot of things where at first I thought it's not possible maybe, but then it was possible doing this technology. Right? So I'm hoping. Is there any other suggestion you want to make?
Small demo regarding the live parameter usage.
Okay, live parameter usage. I would put that in brackets.
I think it is a small thing.
For one reason, because the live parameters, I've used them, and they have some flaws, I think. Just honestly speaking, it's okay for a small example, and I can do that. Yes, just give a small example how to use that. But I had made the experience that if you make complex data transfer between several PI sheets, and that's what live parameters are for, then you get maybe some problems and maybe also some limitations, because, for example, the live parameters do not allow to transfer tabular parameters, so it's only single parameters. Yeah? Okay. So I really suggest to customers to use maybe an internal data table and make a connectivity between PI sheets over such elements or maybe other elements in ABAP. But okay, I can add that also to the list, and then we will vote. But I mean, live parameters is maybe not not a big topic. Okay, so these are the topics. You can vote now what you want to do. Only one possible.
Only one possible.
Yeah. You really need to decide.
But the BAdI for value generation is already done.
Well, that's today. Yeah, just maybe in 10 sessions or so, maybe people want another session for some reason. So that's what I.
Arnit, just one question. I already placed it in the chat section, but in the last meeting you showed briefly the new presentation for the XSteps for the discrete area. Is this now available? Because you told you want to distribute them or show them here.
If you look at the file share, Alexandra, you see the XSteps for discrete.
Yeah, that's the old one.
That's the old one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we...
Yeah, I will... okay, I will send this. Let's take some notes. Okay. DDIC... explanation. Then there's the new presentation on work instructions. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that next time I cannot do the first Wednesday of August. So either it's one before or one after. I don't know. Maybe any comments on that? If not, I would make the.
I would prefer one before.
One before? I would do the same.
Me either.
It's okay.
One before.
One before is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the next is on 30th of July.
Okay.
So I'm broadcasting all the results now. Close the polls here. Okay, so there are some people more than that wanted to see the weighing scenario. Maybe it's a good idea to get all this together now. Yeah, so we had some insights now in some more detailed stuff, and that would be a presentation on a nice scenario, which also, by the way, contains a custom style sheet modification stuff. But I won't go into details there. So that would be really another session.
Great.
Yes, and one other thing I would really like to emphasize. If there is anybody who can contribute also to this session, so especially to our customers, if you have any want to show or could show any examples on your implementations as an example, I can also give you presentation rights here, and you can also give demonstrations. Of course, I know you don't want to show internal data, so of course you might need to anonymize these data, but I would really appreciate if you could also do something there.
I'm currently working here on a very general topic, and you want to have material lists which are split in what you can call sub-batches. Mm-hmm. And what is dependent of the quantity of the process order. If you have, that's a common problem in the process industry, that you don't have enough container space, and you have to do several sub-batches in one order, and depending on the quantity, you need several material lists with several partial quantities. So that's what I'm at the moment trying to implement with XStepCafe. Might be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe some of our customers in the line. Any ideas?
Yeah, the problem is we do have 4.6c and not the XStepCafe. So I'm wondering more for the XStepCafe.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I know that the XStepCafe are not that much distributed so far. But just maybe keep in mind that if you have anything, maybe also if you've got some tricky, nice stuff you think it's valuable to show, and maybe also some problems we can discuss there. Okay, we can also have a look at this if it's of general interest, of course.
Okay.
Maybe make up your mind and
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so next topic also weighing scenario. I will see whether I can also do a video presentation there. So that means that I can would probably bring a weigh scale here to my desk and put the camera so that you see what I do, so that you really see that it's working also with equipment. But I'll see whether I can do that. Okay. Any more questions, remarks?
Nope.
No? Okay, then thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See, that there are so many people here today, and
thanks, Andy.
Have some nice weeks till next time. Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Cheers. Bye. Bye.